Hi, welcome. Today's video is about breathing, about getting out of your mind and coming into your body, why that matters, what is central channel breathing, how do you do it, and the important question of who you are. So, if you are a person who's living in your mind, how do you know if you are here, stuck here, and not living wholly in your body? Well, some of the features of living in your head, which I know very well because I did that for many years of my life, is that you overanalyze, overthink things. There's often an inner struggle inside between the mind and the heart. There's a lot of criticism, judgment, blaming. Often a story, you're caught up in a story in your head about what happened, very much here. It's a kind of scattered energy, very frenetic, very busy, busy heady, like that washing machine spin cycle, just spinning, quite noisy. When you live in your head, you feel disconnected. You often feel like something is missing, something is wrong, something is off, and a sense of not belonging. Also, when you live in your head, you're often stuck in survival, fear, flight, freeze mode. A sense that you're not really safe, you've got to be on the lookout, be aware, and that essentially you don't feel safe. Also, another sign of living in the head is that you always need to be in control. You can't just go with the flow. You've got to plan, and often living in the future or living in the past. The mind does not like to be in the present moment. So does any of this relate to you? And what would it be like to live more in the body? What would that be like? Well, in my experience, when there is more whole body living, when we drop into the body and rest more deeply in our bellies and in our being, there's a sense of slowing down, of connection. There's a sense of belonging. Remember John O'Donoghue said that when we live in our body, there's a sense of belonging. It's the mind that feels homeless. So we feel at home in our bodies, in our skin, sense of connection. There's a sense of ease and effortless effort. In the mind, there's a sense of struggle and suffering and things being stuck. I should do this, I must do that, I need to do that. But living more in the body, there's a feeling of just responding to life as it arises. We are responding rather than reacting. There's a sense of openness, spaciousness. Whereas when I'm living in my mind, there's a sense of contraction somehow. So body more open, more available to life, open to possibilities, going with the flow, no need to control, open to emotions and feelings. In the mind, feelings are a problem. We either push them down, push them away, or run away from them. Whereas when I'm in our body, emotions are intelligent. They're information. I can welcome them. They're energy that I can breathe and let be and let move. Full-bodied living is a sense of being here now, present in this now moment, available to life. In the mind, I'm often comparing and judging, whereas in the body, I'm just being more. There's an isness and suchness of being when I'm embodied. Also, living in the body, there's less of a story happening, less attachment to a commentary. I'm just being, noticing what's happening, and just responding in the moment. because I'm sensing, I'm feeling, I'm intuiting in my belly. What's happening here? Yes. Noticing a slight flutter or a contraction or a knot. Very different sense when I'm living in my mind, living in the body. And again, it's not that I'm making my mind bad or wrong, but it's a limited way of being in the world. It's so limited. It's a narrow way of existing. Whole-bodied living. Wow, I have access to so much more information, possibilities, wisdom. There's a sense of alignment happening. I'm grounded. Yeah, that's another thing. Full-bodied living, there's a sense of groundedness, of being connected to the earth. I think that's all that I'm going to say for now. So if you can relate to any of that, then stay with me, stay watching, because we're going to go into central channel breathing, which I have found in my years as an embodiment life coach and just in my own life, the quickest and easiest way to bring the mind back into the body. Because it's actually the mind that is homeless. You see, who we are in our being is always here. It's not homeless. Being is always here. It's the mind that's got lost in the world, always looking outwards, always comparing, judging, analyzing. But being is always here. So what I came to realize is that breath, especially the central channel breathing that I learned from Dr. Sue Morter, is a way of bringing the mind back home and seating the mind here in the body, in the belly, and staying. So mind, come, rest here with me in being and stay. I've come to see that it's a very skillful use of mind. And actually that is when the mind is in service to the being instead of the other way around. When the mind is ruling the show, then we're always on to the next thing, rushing, running, time urgent, shoulding, having to, must, scattered energy, frenetic, outward focused. Always a sense of not enough. But when we turn that around and the mind comes home and is in service to the being, that's the quantum shift. That's when everything changes. So the question, who are you, becomes really, really important. Who are you? If you look at the space around you, just look at the space around you. Just give your attention to the space around you. Just notice that the space, empty space, is always here. And then there's all these objects and contents of things that are filling up the space. Thinking, feeling, and then objects in the world. They fill up the space and I can put my attention there, but the space around me is always just here. It doesn't have to do anything to be. The space, the stillness is always here, just like being. So to experience being, essentially we don't have to do anything. It's almost like a tracing back. If you ask, who am I beyond this body, the roles in my life, my gender, my responsibilities, what I do, if you trace back and back and back, you eventually come to recognize this sense of just being, which is always here. And there are many words to it. And words, as Rupert says, are just concessions. Nothing really can describe it because it's a felt sense. It's something that just is. But words, awareness, presence, God's being, the self, I am, the soulful self. These are just words that are pointing to the knowing of being. And breath is a wonderful tool to bring the mind to rest in the being. So that's why we do central channel breathing, which I will talk about in my next video. I will tell you about what central channel breathing is and how to actually do it. It's really, really simple. And it's a beautiful practice to rest back into being, to bring the mind back home. Let it sit. Let it experience rest and ease. Oh, what a relief for the mind to rest in being. What a relief. A deep sense of feeling unburdened. So join me for the next video when I'll share more about the central channel breathing that I learned from Dr. Sue Morter and how to actually do it. If you want to live more in your being as a full body experience and not just in the mind, I invite you. My name is Julia. I'm an embodiment life coach. And after years of living in the mind, it came to me to live more in my body, and it's made all the difference. In fact, it's quantum. Nothing is ever the same again. There's more joy, more peace, more spaciousness, more effortless effort, more ease, more creativity, and a deep, deep sense of well-being and relief. A resting and a relaxing that I would love you to experience and to know. Blessings.